Hey Kirk, Justin here. Just going to give you a quick tour of the geometry of the model I built. So real quick, we have the center pivot, just like the wagon steer style. Here it's in the middle. I put it a little bit forward to simulate what we'll probably be doing for a castering effect, but I'm not exactly sure how far forward or back it should be. I also allowed this a freedom of movement because we did talk about having an angle which would help the roll. Of course, the way this is set up, it does not roll because the pivot point itself is not angled. There's a joint angle here. I think I might be able to actually achieve that in Legos, but I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it at this time. I have 3 wheels that are of the appropriate aspect ratio, and they are set up for leaning. See, the tires are pretty rounded. Up here in the front, this whole chassis is one piece, and then these swivel individually. So I made these little wheel holder things, and they are pretty much exactly what I'd imagine the real product is going to be like. So what I've done here, and this is the most effective geometry for the model I was able to find, is these ball joints. Now I played around with other things to see if I could get this to work before I bought the ball joints, and I couldn't get something to work quite as well as this. So I'm still potentially thinking it might be worth exploring, maybe having some sort of a bar like this that connects the two, and then the thing sticks off of it and it swings back and forth. But it seems like the way you proposed does work out pretty well. So looking at it from the back here, if I want to make a left turn, this whole thing swivels, the wheels tilt left. Right turn, same way. So I did make it so we can adjust this, and it does change the way this works. Obviously Legos are a little bit limiting because their lengths are pretty set. This makes it, there's a bit of a toe in because this isn't the proper length and that sort of thing. So I also made a slightly longer set here that we can try real quick. One thing I noticed about the Legos, at least, was the further back I went, the less able they were to turn, and I think that's mostly a product of the ball joint, but I do understand, that the further back we go, the less of a leaning effect you're going to get, so it makes sense that our adjustment would reflect that. So this works pretty well, but you see there's a bit of a toe out because these would need to be a little shorter, but it does work. And then coming back one more here, these are pretty flush, but the movement is really limited, and again I think it's because I'm hitting the edge of the ball joint's ability on Legos. I hope I'm talking loud enough. Anyway, so that's what I got. I'd like to move on to the next model. This seems to just simply confirm what we thought to be true, and that's good. One last thing I did notice about this is that in this setup, and I think this is going to be true for any design, when you use this method of tilt, the outside wheel tilts more than the inside wheel, and I think that's what we want, if I recall from reading the manual and talking with you and Mike, is that we, oops, that broke, want the outside wheel to be tilting a little bit more. So we can explore that more, but it might just be the slop, but I think it's actually just the way this thing is going to line up. Anyway, so that's all I got for now. I'll talk to you soon about buying materials for the next model.